Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday to you, September 8th, 2025. I've got all of your stories for your rush hour ride to work. I'm telling you right now, we got a lot to dive into. So many wild viral moments over the weekend. Plus, we're going to have updates on the Blake Lively case, as now it may be tied to a Rebel Wilson defamation case. I know. Just going to have to buckle up for it. It's a lot. We're also going to talk about the viral ladies that accidentally went to Tunisia instead of to Nice, France. We'll share their update. We're following them on the edge of our seat. And then more on Epstein, as we've got some folks in the government claiming it was a hoax, others saying Trump was a government operative for the FBI. What the hell are they talking about? And a massive battle breaking out between the farmers going bankrupt and the new Rose Garden cafe that exists at the White House. It's a wild time to be alive. So much to get into. All this and more starts right now on The Rush. And we have an update regarding the lottery that took place over the weekend. I did not win. How about that?
That near record $1.8 billion jackpot will not be growing for Monday's Powerball drawing. 2 tickets matched all 5 numbers, and the Powerball, neither of them were in California.
But there are still some.
All right, so hold on. Well, you're telling me 2 people won the lottery, so they're going to split it $900 million each after taxes. They each walk away with $300 million. But what are the odds that one of them is a audience member of the Rush Hour podcast? I mean, the odds have to be better than 0. So if you're out there and you want to put me on an early retirement, please let me know. As I've said before, I'll call you on speakerphone twice a day and give you your own private podcast update. The price can be negotiated. All right, so here's the crazy story. We got to get into this. You know, the Rush Hour podcast, it's all about knowing the viral trends. You literally it might be the difference between getting that, job upgrade or not if you are up to date with pop culture, water cooler stuff. Well, this is the moment. 2 ladies traveling, they thought were heading to Nice, France. They learned that they're heading to a country in northern Africa. This is the moment.
You are going to France?
Is that where this is going? Just go for that.
The airline employee misheard us and booked us a flight to Tunisia, Africa, instead of Nice, France.
Oh my God, Brittany.
Do you have luggage?
Yes.
So the guy's like, do you have luggage? They're like, we got it all, baby. So anyhow, they've had about 10 different TikToks. They all went viral over the weekend. Everyone's going, are you going to northern Africa? I'm sure Tunisia is very nice this time of year, but it's not Nice, France. Now, as it turns out, when you look at the map, Tunis is in Tunisia, and they said they wanted to go to Nice, as in Tunis, France, and whoever they were talking about, the gate agent, heard Tunis and sent them to Tunis, Tunisia. So anyway, any audience members of the Rush Hour podcast, if you are maybe listening from Tunisia, please call in, let us know. And by the way, Tunis looks like a very nice area. I don't know much about Tunis, but I'd love to come by. Can we do some stand-up shows over there? So here's their update. Everyone's just, this is the internet, right? This is peak internet. Somebody's mistake goes viral, and all of a sudden, I've never been more interested in whether or not they're going to make it to Nice, France. So here they are, taking the gate agents.
Can we go anywhere tonight? Can we leave Africa?
She said, can we leave Africa? Now, I've got it on good record that folks from Africa don't want to be referred to as Africa, the continent. You know what I mean? At least say which country that you're in. But again, we've got audience members that sadly don't know many countries in Africa. We know a bunch. We've got a bunch. We're going to be, there's beautiful, very vast different cultures, you get the point. But either way, I'm sure Tunisia's nice. That's not where they wanted to go. So as of now, they ended up talking to another gate agent who got them a flight to Nice. We'll find out if they land there. So there's your update from Tunisia to Nice. Big night for the Buffalo Bills, overcoming, they were down by several touchdowns and beat the Ravens last minute. But here's a moment where Lamar Jackson pushed a fan. So again, what do you guys think should be done here? This is going to be kind of a big deal. This fan in the red pushes several Ravens players.
Hits him up on the head.
Really, just for, when unprovoked, they're just walking by the stands, Bills Mafia. And then at this moment, you see right there, pushes back. I personally think if a fan comes and crosses the threshold of the playing field and touches a player, that they have a right to touch back. That's just my thought, but I'm sure Lamar Jackson will receive some sort of penalty for that. All right, in other news, in stadiums, from one stadium story to another, Kristen Cabot, the woman seen with Astronomer CEO, I should say, former CEO in Coldplay, the Kiss Cam saga, she's filing for divorce from her husband. She said, not anymore. She said, not anymore. Listen, I mean, you can't do this. You know what I mean? You can't have a company romance and take it to the Kiss Cam. Like, what were you thinking? Look, I'm no expert in company cheating. I work for myself. You can't cheat on me. But I would imagine a Motel 6 would do just fine. But you can't go take this to the public playgrounds here and not get caught. So either way, and of course he's been fired. She's filing for divorce from her husband. I don't know what her husband does, but either way, now that she's single, maybe she should go visit Tunisia. Very nice this time of year. All right, iPhone update. We got a couple more stories. We'll get to Blake Lively in a second. iPhone update. Apparently tomorrow they're going to be announcing the new iPhone, and it might fold.
So on Tuesday, Apple's going to announce new iPhones. And as a tech reporter, I'm thrilled because I don't have to talk about the iPhone rumors anymore. No, just kidding. I'm still talking about the rumors. Well, this year, everyone is expecting a new super thin iPhone, and it might not have all the...
Boy, iPhone's really fallen off. You know what I mean? They got a thin phone? No, I mean, bring me back to the days of a flip phone. Really? You know what I mean? Life was just better. We all know that life is worse because of not all technology, just the ruminating one that drains us of our dopamine. I had to literally buy a box to put my phone in so we can have device-free time. We call it DFT, device-free time. Most people don't realize how addicted to their devices they actually are. But I will say, I do want to try out the foldable phone. So I can't promise this is what it's going to look like. This may be BS, but some early reports are saying that in 2026, they're going to do the dual screens, a foldable phone, which again, Galaxy, I think they already have this, but Apple's a little slow to the party.
The iPhone Ultra is going to be the first iPhone with two different displays on it. Because this is a folding phone, you're not always going to be using it while it's open. So on the outside, Apple's going to be putting a massive 5.5-inch screen, or the same size screen that you could find on an iPhone 8 Plus. That's just going to be the screen when you're not using the main screen. Because when you open the iPhone Ultra up, you're going to be greeted with a 7.8-inch screen, similar to the form factor of an iPad.
All right, great. So now you can stalk your ex from two different sides of your phone, you know? And again, I say stalk your ex, right? You just want to make sure you're doing better than them. It's like, I wish you well, just not as well as me. You know what I mean? Either way. Okay, so that'll be a phone that'll be very, very expensive when it comes out. All right. Last story before the Blake Lively stuff. After going extinct 600 years ago, the moa could be on its way back. What is the moa? It is a 500-pound bird. Do we need this? No. The only thing we should try to bring back from extinction is democracy, but I digress.
The moa birds are massive, double the size of a human being. They have massive claw-like feet and beaks. Why did you pick them?
I got introduced to Peter Jackson, and Peter Jackson was really excited about the work that we're doing. He knew we were working on the mammoth, the Tasmanian tiger, and then the dodo.
So again, this is the same company that's bringing back the woolly mammoth, the Tasmanian tiger, the dodo bird. I didn't know we needed the dodo bird. But to be quite honest, they're saying they're bringing all these things back. I haven't seen one of them. Where's woolly mammoth? You know what I mean?
And he was very upset that we were not working on the moa. And if you don't know what the moa, you nailed it. It's a 500-pound bird. It's about 12 to 13 feet tall. And it was actually rumored to be very docile. And it was important to the ecological function of kind of the canopy in New Zealand. And we as humanity hunted it to extinction. So if we can ever bring back species that we as mankind had a role in their extinction, while also building technologies to help conservation, help to return something that's sacred back to the Maori people, the indigenous people of New Zealand, all while kind of inspiring kids, it kind of checked all of the boxes. And so when Peter said that we would do it, or asked if we would do it, we said, of course we would. And
by the way, does it not have wings? Can you just just push it over? Like, how does this bird work? Is it an ostrich? Like, what the hell is the MOA? Either way, I'm kind of one of those that's like, I don't know if we should be playing God, but at the same time, can't wait to see it. So, coming up next, we got Blake Lively's story, but I want to let you guys know we have some amazing sponsors that we're starting to work with. It's really helping the channel grow. I hope you guys take a moment to check this out. After the sponsors, we're coming right back with the Blake Lively story. We're here in my car at the gas station, sponsored by Upside. It's a free app that gets you cashback rewards at gas stations, restaurants, not just gas, but sometimes the food that you're going to get in the gas station. Great for road trips. They give up to $1 million a week back in rewards to its users, $1 billion in total. This is how it works. You just type in your zip code and it'll show you all the different gas stations. I'm at an Exxon. 45 cents per gallon will come back to you as a reward. Not points or some loyalty program, cold hard cash back to you. It's a no-brainer. You're driving to work, commuting, rush hour, Timmy's going to football, Jill's going to dance. You're already spending the money on either gas or purchases in the gas station. Again, it all comes right back to you. And with my code RUSHHOUR, you're going to get 25 cents off per gallon on your first tank fill up that you do when you sign up for this app. Again, 25 cents off per gallon with my code RUSHHOUR. Let's get back to the show. All right, here it is. This article came out Friday. We're going to break it down. Is the alleged smear campaign against Blake Lively tied to Rebel Wilson's legal battle over the Deb? Oh my gosh, there's a lot to break down here. I'm going to share a legal opinion on this, and let's just go through it. We're going to kind of skim through this article here, where the alleged smear campaigns against Blake Lively and against the producers of Rebel Wilson's directorial debut, The Deb, were they intertwined? Lawyers for the latter say yes, according to a cross-complaint filed Thursday in LA Superior Court that names a new defendant familiar to those following Lively's legal battle against Justin Baldoni's crisis publicist Melissa Nathan. So again, there's a lot to break down here. Rebel Wilson is being sued for defamation. This article is going to be pretty anti-Rebel Wilson, but I'm also going to share some pro-Rebel Wilson. I haven't heard her side of the story yet, so I have no idea. Therefore, I'm not going to comment any further. According to the, but I'll read the article. According to the new filing, the Pitch Perfect star expressed interest in one of those sites, in a quote-unquote one of those sites, in an apparent reference to a series of anonymous websites that appeared a month later targeting the Deb producer Amanda Ghost last summer with grotesque lies. So they're alleging that Pitch Perfect star here, Rebel Wilson, was behind a smear campaign against her own producer. Last year, Ghost and fellow Deb producer Gregory Cameron and Vincent Holden sued Wilson for defamation over a series of social media posts in which Wilson accused them of inappropriate behavior towards the lead actress of the film, embezzling funds from the film's budget. In Thursday's filing, they go a step further and point to the hidden PR apparatus behind Wilson's alleged smear campaign against Ghost, citing a text message written by Nathan that was recently unearthed as part of the sprawling Lively Baldoni litigation. Oh my gosh. So because of Lively Baldoni, they were able to find a text message by Nathan that may have or may be used against Rebel Wilson. And this is why people don't want their text messages getting out, right? Because, you work with all these different clients. Now, if anyone's creating dark, smear campaign websites that are untraceable, that are defamatory because they're not true, I think they should be exposed. You know what I mean? Now, if they're creating true things, and it's like, well, facts are facts. So here's what they said. So basically, Rebel wants one of those sites. Should be a mixture of that document that I think Carolina pulled about Amanda, or the intern pulled. So it can be really, really harsh. Russian oligarchs and making her a madam, basically. Nathan wrote in August of 2024 to another publicist at Tag PR, the same firm at the center of Lively's claims that she was a victim of an untraceable smear campaign. Now, how does this, will this look badly upon Justin Baldoni? I don't think so, because it's just a completely different client. He has nothing to do with this. But if you are hiring people that are willing to make dark websites that, all these things, that's pretty bad. Again, we'll have to see what they have to say about this. As we've learned before, taking text messages out of context can really make an ass out of you and me, right? To assume, what comes before or after this, we have no idea. But again, it doesn't look great. Later that month, anonymously written sites like AmandaGhost.com and AmandaGhostSucks.com popped up and claimed that Ghost was the Indian Ghislaine Maxwell, madam for one of the world's richest men. Behind the scenes, Wilson used paid PR professionals to launch a shockingly low and racially charged attack on another professional woman, all to get her own way in a business dispute and destroy the reputation of a woman who dared to stand up to her, the complaint says in reference to Ghost. So this complaint makes Rebel Wilson look awful. Again, we'll break it down. Ghost is represented by Shepard Mullen. Partner Camille Vasquez seeks compensatory and punitive damages, alleging that Wilson crossed every possible line in her bid to claim a writing credit on the Australian set musical that premiered last year at the Toronto Film Festival, but remains without a distributor. The increasing use of these disturbing PR tactics in Hollywood and elsewhere function like a cancer in society, Vasquez said in a statement. They manipulate the public, destroy reputations, and have taken a real and palpable toll on their victims. It's time to shine a light on these trolls hiding behind their keyboards and hold them accountable for the damage they cause. I agree with that sentiment. Again, we're going to save space to hear what Rebel Wilson has to say, but if she's putting these websites together through Publicist and it's not true, provably not true, I think they're effed. The 21-page complaint paints Wilson as a faux feminist who weaponized her platform to destroy the reputations of her business partners when they refused acquiesce to her demands. But it's the link to the Lively Baldoni case that will likely raise eyebrows. Lively has claimed that Tag masterminded a smear campaign against her the same month that the mysterious and disparaging websites about Ghost first surfaced. Separately but related, Baldoni's former publicist Stephanie Jones is suing Baldoni, Nathan and publicist Jennifer Abel for trashing her reputation. According to her own legal filings, Jones was disparaged via anonymous websites, including StephanieJonesLeaks.com, and made a declaration in June that she was unable to identify the true identity of the individuals. But it goes into detail about who might have made that claim. It could have been someone who worked with her. They don't really know who made that website. But either way, this is what's so interesting is nothing has been proven. Whether Stephanie Jones was the victim of one of these websites, Blake Lively wasn't, as far as we know. Blake Lively, there have been no claims made about her that haven't either been proven true or proven to have not come from Baldoni. Does that make sense? So I don't know how similar these cases are, but we're going to have to wait and hear from Rebel Wilson's side. Vasquez, who previously worked with Nathan when she represented Johnny Depp in his courtroom battle with the Amber Heard case, looks to draw a direct line between a campaign Wilson allegedly carried out against Ghost and the Lively Baldoni case. So either way, in quotes, they say this: Miss Ghost, the producer, is informed and believes, and thereon alleges that a person named Jed was involved in coordinating and directing the publication of defamatory materials via the websites in collusion with Miss Nathan and her staff and with Rebel, the cross-complaint states. Now, what I've learned, and lawyers can let me know, is when someone says informed and believes, that's just an allegation. There's no proof to that. So are they using Jed as a fall guy because he's already kind of been smeared in this whole thing? Not really sure. That would be a reference to Jed Wallace, another key figure in the Lively Baldoni case. The Texas-based social media guru worked with Tag to bolster Baldoni's image last summer when the media and influencers began to write about a mysterious rift between the director and Lively on the set of the film It Ends With Us. Lively is suing and being sued by Wallace for defamation. Wild stuff. All right, so let's just go to without, what's her name again? Not actually Golden. She always gives great commentary towards how messy this all is.
So how does this connect to Lively Baldoni? One, the counter complaint says they believe that a person named Jed was part of this. I don't know where they get this information from. I don't know if this is just their guess based on what they've seen in Lively Baldoni, but it appears that they are again claiming that there's this triad of Friedman, Nathan, and Wallace who go around making up fake websites and talk shit about people. So it looks like Jed is going to be subject to discovery.
Now, Brian Friedman put up a website to show the receipts they had proving Baldoni didn't harass Blake, right? So he was publicly doing that, but we don't have any information that he's been privately doing that.
Yet again. Now, this could be part of the reason why Jed doesn't want to give out information about other clients, right? Remember, he's been really pushing back against that, maybe because he has this other ongoing thing happening through Friedman, who's apparently a friend of his. So maybe that's part of the reason he's been so resistant. But I need to go back again, if someone else can find it, I need to go back and look at his interrogatory answers about, did you engage in any inauthentic smear campaign activity in between August and December of 2024? And I'm pretty sure he said no. Maybe it was specific to Blake Lively, though. I don't know. But Jed is now, by being tied up in one case, is now going to be tied up in another, probably.
Yeah, so this is wild. This is absolutely wild stuff. So if you're the producers that are suing Rebel Wilson for defamation, if you are now seeing that there is a link to Jed Wallace in this untraceable campaign, you might say that that's the guy, that's the bad guy. Now, do they have enough information to get a subpoena and get the private information and all that? I have no idea. Now, Without a Crystal Ball is actually in support of Rebel Wilson. I'm sure she knows more than I do. Rebel and Justin fighting corruption in Hollywood since 2024. She says the easiest way to lose your job and clout in Hollywood is rocking the boat. Standing up against power and corruption will kill a brand for any celebrity. This is why so many stay silent. Instead of shaming Rebel Wilson, recognize that she is more like Baldoni than different. She has a law degree from Australia. She has a strong sense of fairness and justice. She believes, like Justin, that women deserve equality and fairness. Both take their position seriously and actively speak against harm to women. Both have had their IP stolen, and then they were smeared. Both hired Melissa Nathan. Neither had done anything other than own a valuable asset that others wanted. Rebel realized her partners were unethical, corrupt, and possibly criminal. Justin realized his co-star and her husband were bullies, liars, corrupt, and would stop at nothing to steal his movie. Both had their movies stolen. Rebel framed as a diva, a woman scorned, a woman who stole the IP. Rebel owned the IP from day one. She's not like Blake. So either way, I think this is really interesting. I know it's complicated. I know some folks are like, what the hell? Like, how deep does this go? But we will have to start covering Rebel Wilson's defamation suit. And maybe it'll send us to Australia. Who knows, right? Maybe we'll go to see the moa, the 500-pound bird, while we're over there. We'll have to see. Either way, incredible stuff. More to come from this, truly. In the coming weeks, I've got so many interviews scheduled. I'm going to be leaving the country. I will not be heading to Tunisia, although I hear it's beautiful. But I will be out of the country, and I will still be making content, as you guys know, taking the family, to a few different places. But I will be making content, and I'm going to have some great interviews. Katie Pope's going to come on. We're going to talk to her. I've got a Bigfoot expert, what's the name of a Bigfoot expert? Either way, I've got a lot. There's a lot of people coming, so you're going to have to stick around for that. Coming up next, we are going to discuss the Epstein case and tariffs, what it means, the new jobs report that came out that's not looking good, and what this means for the country. All this coming next. Today's episode of the Rush Hour Podcast is sponsored by Tropical Smoothie Cafe, one of my favorites. Ooh, are they delicious. Start your day with a protein-packed breakfast from Tropical Smoothie Cafe. Oh, you thought they only had delicious smoothie options? You're mistaken. Pair that smoothie with a toasted breakfast wrap, order ahead online, and earn rewards with the Tropical Smoothie Cafe app. Like to customize things? Add more good vibes to your smoothie. Fresh add-ins like almonds, spinach and kale, chia seeds, or supplements like protein and Energizer. My favorite smoothie is the Peanut Paradise, chock full of 22 grams of protein. My wife loves the mixed berry Greek yogurt bowl topped with fresh strawberries and blueberries, which comes with a whopping 26 grams of protein. Make every day a getaway with our bold flavors and better for you pairings only at Tropical Smoothie Cafe. Tropical Smoothie Cafe, you're on Tropic Time now. Now back to the show. Here's the moment that Scott Bessent, Treasury Secretary, went on Meet the Press. Kristen Welker absolutely exposes him. He lies to the American people about who pays for tariffs. Spoiler, Americans, consumers pay the tariff price.
They're going to have to increase their prices. Goldman Sachs says 86% of the tariff revenue collected so far has been paid by American businesses and consumers. So just bottom line, Mr. Secretary, do you acknowledge that these tariffs are a tax on American consumers?
No, I don't.
Even though you have companies saying they are going to have to increase prices, and given the fact that 86% of these tariffs so far have been paid by Americans.
You're quoting Goldman Sachs. So
yes, Goldman Sachs, correct.
I made a good career trading against Goldman Sachs.
Okay, so Scott Bessent, 100 millionaire, trying to tell us that, we're not the ones paying the price for the tariffs. Tariffs are a tax on the American consumer. Here are the farmers having to deal with tariffs the amount of farmers going bankrupt, it's absolutely insane what's going on.
I've never been as worried as I am now about whether or not my kids and grandkids will be able to carry on.
He said, I love you, Mr. Trump. I need to see the fruit of your love.
So they're saying, you said you loved us. Show us the fruit of the love. Here's a MAGA farmer begging Trump to help for survival.
A very dire situation. September's upon us. Harvest is starting in the deep south, and we have 0 bushels of soybeans on the books to be sold to China for this current crop that's about to come out of the field. Historically, over the last 5 years, about a third of soybean sales to China would be booked. China amounts to 25% of our total U.S. soybean crop. So that would be 8 or 9% of the whole U.S. crop would normally be on the books with China right now.
And, plenty of companies don't make 8% profit. So these types of deals where a tariff war might make it so that the American soybeans are not worth anything compared to soybeans you might get in Brazil or Mexico or somewhere else. It's absolutely killing our country right now. So many farmers, it's more beneficial for them to just grind up tomatoes than actually harvest them. And what do the, elected officials have to say about it? Well, here they were over the weekend at Trump's new Rose Garden Cafe, Mar-a-Lago Northeast, I guess they're calling it. This is, listen, you want to serve, food and for the, lawmakers at the White House, whatever. I honestly, pave a patio, who the hell cares? It's the PR of this saying you're going to handle it. It's going to be okay. Next year will be better, right? They fired the jobs report guy, bring in their own person, and they still had a terrible jobs report. They wanted 75,000 new jobs. It was only 75,000. It was only 22,000. This is not good. Inflation's ticking up. When are these farmers going to drive their John Deere tractors up to the White House and demand change? This is what Trump ran on, lowering the price of goods, making inflation go down and having a more affordable, world for us Americans to live in. And what are we noticing? That tariffs are being paid for by us, a tax, in order to fund the tax cuts for the ultra wealthy. That's what it is. We don't even have our Secretary of Treasury admitting it to the people. They're pissing on your leg and telling you it's raining. And speaking of pissing on your leg and telling you it's raining, here's Mike Johnson claiming that Donald Trump was an FBI informant. What?
And he's not saying that what Epstein did is a hoax. It's a terrible, unspeakable evil. He believes that himself. When he first heard the rumor, he kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago. He was an FBI informant to try to take this stuff down. The president knows and has great sympathy for the women who have suffered these unspeakable harms. It's detestable to him. He and I have spoken about this as recently as 24 hours ago.
I don't like the way he talks. He's kind of annoying. So he's claiming Donald Trump was an FBI informant and helped take Epstein down. Just shocking that they wouldn't be more proud of the work that they've done and would want to release the Epstein files. Here's Republican Representative Massey saying, don't buy it.
For the victim said that Donald Trump had been helpful in 2009 in their case by giving them information, but being an informant implies some formal connection and ongoing relationship with the FBI. I don't know what that's all about. I think the speaker needs to clarify that. And if it's a hoax, why was Donald Trump an informant to a hoax? When we asked,
these are good questions, right? Why was he was it real or not? Again, here is John Ossoff questioning this hoax informant sort of strategy they're putting forward to say, oh, no, nothing to see here. Trump was actually working with the FBI. Remember, Trump doesn't even believe in the FBI.
It's been extraordinary to see the Speaker of the House reduced to lying in order to cover up sex crimes. And for the President of the United States to move from a campaign where he and all his lieutenants promised to bring this all out into public light and now dismiss it as a hoax. I hope that reason and justice will prevail.
And of course, if you're wondering why we're going so hard onto this story, it's because it's the biggest cover-up and conspiracy in our nation's history. It really is. You've got Trump pressuring the different representatives, the Republicans, to not, vote for this Representative Massey bill. It's a bipartisan bill that Massey and Ro Khanna have put together to say, let's just release all the Epstein files. And again, there have been thousands of FBI agents that worked to note where Trump's name was brought up in these files. It's like, look, if you didn't do anything wrong, obviously your name's going to be mentioned. You knew the guy for a long time. Release the files. I mean, it's a little heavy for the morning. You know, I'm trying to have the morning episodes be a little lighter. We were all over the place, from Powerball to North Africa to Epstein and Blake Lively and Pitch Perfect. We have an extinct bird coming back. If this isn't rush hour content, I don't know what is. That's going to be it for me. I hope you guys have a good morning. We'll be back this afternoon. If you want to be a part of the private memberships on Patreon, you can join the live streams, patreon.com/Dave Neal. We'll be live around 11 a.m. Central Time. A lot of insider bonus tea to share as we make the afternoon episode. We'll see you then. I'm Dave, and this is The Rush.